What's up, team? Are you guys ready to melt our brains part 2? And if you're new here, we melted our brains a while back and we're going to do it again, but in a good way. So you see this chart right here. It's linked below. We're going to move through like 6 or 7 charts. They're linked in an ebook below in my Dropbox, and inside there's also a jam track for you so you can practice everything we learn over the jam track. Just bass and drums. I'll do a screen share of that and we'll wrap this up. Let's just get to it. So right here, start melting our brains, and promise me this. Drop me a question, drop a comment. Let's interact. Okay? I want to interact with you. Now, it makes me feel all happy and special inside. A bar chord to the A triad. And I put the triads in blue. A, C sharp, E. So on the top left of the chart, you have that information for each triad. Look, A, C sharp, E, D, F sharp, A, E, G sharp, E, and then back. But I'm going to give you 2 triads in blue per chord. So watch. Let's just do it. We'll move through each one. A triad, okay? Bar chord to triad. Okay? If you've been on this channel, you know I hit this hard, okay? Rhythm is king. If you're a beginner and all you can get is this, awesome. That's okay. If you make a tiny ounce of progress that you didn't have before, you've gotten better. So this is focus, good practice, okay? When you get comfortable with that, hit this triad set on the G, B high E string, okay? And I will tell you this. I love these middle string triads on the G, B, D string set. D, G, B string set, excuse me. Love those. Those are just awesome. But this one's super cool too. You want to just learn them and piece them together, connect it also. So look, E, A, C sharp. So look, bar chord, triad. Just bar chord, triad. Bar chord, triad. Bar chord, triad. Most important thing, always, in everything we always do forever, we'll have fun, but keep your rhythm tight, okay? So beatbox. That's gonna make the playing a guitar the most fun for you because every instrument is a drum set. So you gotta keep the groove, stay in the pocket, which is gonna be great to get the jam track. Okay, in the top right, before we move on, this information will stay consistent. The parent key is right there. We're in the key of A major, so I just wrote out the A major scale, and you're gonna play it in a minute because we're gonna play the modes that go with each chord too. And some of you are definitely gonna have light bulb moments about the modes in this lesson, but if you don't, it's okay. Keep coming back. You have to never stop on guitar, and you have to keep hitting it, keep repeating it, different angles, different attacks. Okay, next chart. Whoop. D. So here, this one's kind of cool. I'm gonna give you the triad in every bar chord because those are the best. So, bar chord, triad, bar chord, and the triads are in blue, okay? Now I love this one too. See, this one's like a bar one on the 7th fret, A, D, F sharp. Because A, just a little fun side teachable moment. A is the lowest fundamental note in this chart. Look, A, D, F sharp, meaning it's the closest to your chin, okay? So this is a second inversion triad. Because if you look at D in the top left there, D, F sharp, A is the 5th. A triad is made of the 1, 3, 5 from the scale, parent's major scale. This is the 5th. A is the 5. If that's the lowest one, it's a second inversion. If we had F sharp, it'd be a first inversion. Now, you don't have to know that, but they are different flavors, and that's what we want. We want voicings, flavors. You create what you create, and I create what I create, and that's what makes us have our own flavor and style. So look, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad. Now, we're not really making music yet. We're being sort of musical. We're being technical with our rhythm and our picking. Arpeggiate. You could just I'm just giving you ideas, okay? Triads. This is a D triad. This is a D triad. So just create different combinations. You see there, I started on that triad, and then I went to that triad, and then I went to the bar chord. Just ideas. All right, flavors, right? Moving on to the next chart. Whoop! Now we're gonna finish it off with the 5 chord. We did the 1A, we did the 4D, and we did the 5E. Now let me check in with you. Is your brain melting? Do you have any brain juice leaking out of your ears? All right. I like to tell my kids that when they start to play the video game for too long, and I do put them on a timer, I like to go wipe their ear and tell them I'm wiping brain juice out. So, all right, E bar chord, and there it is, the E triad inside, E, G sharp, E. And then I went ahead and gave you this one up high. So we can kind of move around. In a minute, we'll link them all together, then we'll move on to the modes. Don't be afraid, don't run away. Hopefully you're still here. Hit that like button, okay? E, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, get you kind of like in the ballpark of trying to get the rhythm tight. Always keep your rhythm tight, no matter what. If you can only just do one bar chord to triad and keep that rhythm flow going, I'd rather have you do that than kind of not be all over the place with the whole lesson. So you can always come back and keep watching these. Okay, now let's see if we can kind of link the whole thing together before we go to the modes. So no chart for this. This is just an idea. Let's just move through it. What if we just do this? What if we just do bar chord to triad, the triad that lives inside the bar chord, and let's see if we can get that solid real quick, and then we'll add the other triad. So like the bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord. Okay, I am gonna tell you too in the jam track, I'm pretty sure I did 2 bars of A, like this, 1 bar of D, and 1 bar of E. Gave you a little bit of a slower tempo, pretty spicy little track though to make it fun for you. Alright, so bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad. So real slow, what I did this A to this triad that lives inside the bar chord, went back to the bar chord to this triad, because I had 2 bars of A, and then in the D, I went here, and I did the one that lives inside, and then I went to the E. Instead of going here to the one that lives inside, I went from here to here. But you could just reverse it around. You could do something like this before we move on to the modes, the major Lydian and Mixolydian modes, the Ionian. Okay, you'll see in a minute. What you want to do is try and arpeggiate to it. Just the triads. What I'm really trying to get you to do, the whole goal of every lesson I give is you think like a songwriter, think like a creator, think like a musician. You're always trying to create musical parts. So this lesson's great because you're not just sitting down and wasting your bandwidth. I know it's totally fun to noodle. Just if you're gonna noodle, whatever you want to call it, have purpose. So let's see. Sometimes you can even do something too. Get rid of the pick. If you've never finger pick the triad. See, look. I know, you know what was kind of cool about what I did there? I don't know if you noticed. Instead of picking the triad straight down, like A, C sharp, E, I picked it C sharp, A, E. So I went, that sounds different than, so there's all kinds of things you can do. So that's what I want you to do with the bar chords and triads, and I really want you to learn the notes in the triads. D, A, C sharp, E, D, F sharp, A, E, G sharp, B. Okay, let's move on. Whoop, here comes the fun part. Now, I wanted to keep it a little more focused because I don't want to fully melt your brain, just partially. So here we go. We're going back to our parent scale. Ionian. We're going to do the fancy modal names. The 1 chord, aka major scale. So look, let's just run it. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. All in green. Do I have any brain juice coming out yet? Check. Alright, so one thing you can do too, before we move on to the next one, so that's your blueprint, right? That's your parent scale, that's your parent key, that's home. That's you're gonna be pulled home, okay? When the lights go, when the sun goes down and it's dark, maybe stay out, okay? And you mess around with Lydian and Mixolydian, so we're gonna get there. But look, maybe you do like bar chord, triad, bar chord, triad, and then a little lick out of the major scale. Bar chord, triad. I played a note there. I cheated. But that's okay. Rule number 1, never stop your rhythm. Always keep it going. If you get lost, I show this a lot. So let's say you get lost. Am I playing any notes? Nope. Did I stop playing? No. Oh, here I am. Okay? You could do cool things too, like link together like bass lines. Think like a bass player sometimes. Try different rhythms. Alright, so there is Ionian. Now here's where people get all confused. Let's go to this next chart. And I put some extra information on here for you, and I put a couple things in red. Let me explain why. So this is Lydian. This is D Lydian, okay? So essentially, see if you can wrap your head around this. A mode, it's just a rearranged major scale. So it belongs to a certain parent key. In this case, we belong to A major. So what we have to do, watch this. This isn't on the chart, but if I played a D major scale, it'd be D, E, F sharp, right? G, A, B, C sharp, D. The problem is, we want to stay relevant to the key of D. There's no G. So we need to make that G a G sharp. Because if you see the key in the top right, you see how many sharps? We got 3 sharps, F, C, and G, right? So we need to have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp in here. And by raising the fourth degree, see that looks like a hashtag? Let's call that a sharp from now on though. Sharp 4, I wrote it real small in red, but raised the 4th degree to convert a major to Lydian. So this is the D major scale. See if you follow me. If you're totally confused, don't worry. I'm going to keep hitting this over and over until you get it. 1, 2, 3. So here's the 4. I have to raise that. And now, essentially what I'm doing there is I am playing, it's just a rearranged A major scale. But I'm starting from D. So that's the flavor. So like watch this, let me give you some context. Let's play an A bar chord, and then let's slide up and play this D Lydian scale. See, it always wants to kind of pull back home, but it kind of wants to pull where you lead it too. So that's where your great skill sets are going to come into play. I know there's a lot of you confused, so now's the time to ask the question. But just look at this chart. And look, I even put the G sharp in red. I wanted you to see that's the only move, that's the only alteration I did to a D major scale in order to change it to a D Lydian. You could take any major scale, and if you raise the 4th, you've turned it into a Lydian scale. And then you just have to kind of know, okay, I know D Lydian belongs to A major because D's the 4th chord, Lydian's the 4th mode. You get it? You kind of singing it? You're going to get it. Okay, next chart. E Mixolydian, and these are major modes because the 1, 4, 5 are a major. That's why we have Roman numerals in uppercase. Okay, so look at this. E Mixolydian, run it. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Now there's only one move you got to do to alter a major scale and make it Mixolydian. That's flat the 7. So you see that Mixolydian 5, 5th mode, flat the 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is right here. I got to flat it, which means lower it a half step, which is this way towards the headstock. So and again in red, I showed you the only alteration. Again, if I did, it's not on the chart, but if I did an E major scale, look, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, but we don't have a D sharp. We have to lower that to make it fit A major. So what it is essentially, because this is E Mixolydian, you can look at all the notes, start on the E, and just run it. You're playing every single note that's in an A major scale. Whoever thought of this stuff is brilliant and crazy at the same time. Probably the Greeks, right? 'Cause I think these are Greek names. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mixolydian. All right. So what can we do with this to link it together? What I would do now is, let me throw the whole enchilada up there. So you see this chart. This is all the modes. You do see that 1 G sharp because some of these scales overlap, but just run it. A major, okay? D Lydian, E Mixolydian. You could go like this, A, D, G, E. See? It's hard to talk and say that. But that's what you want to do is, then you start having your ear pull you to certain places and just go there. So that's why the jam track is going to be so helpful for you at the end. So just to wrap it up, bar chord to triad, okay? Just see if you can get the bar chord to the triad that lives inside. If you want to get both triads, do it. Okay, I almost lost my place there. But did I stop? I did not. All right, so there you go. I Hopefully didn't melt your brain too much. But again, I need you to drop questions. Anything you're confused on, like, what do they say? The worst question is the one you don't ask. So there are no silly questions. You guys are amazing. So let me hop into this jam track. I gave you enough bars, and it's going to be 2 bars of A, a bar of D, and a bar of E. And what you can do is practice playing with the drummer and bassist like this, okay? And then once you get that, start doing some of the scales over the bass player and drummer. So heck, let me hop in there and just show you real fast, and then we'll get you on your way. All right, so we got the guitar, get the ebook. You're gonna grab this jam track and just practice over it. So let's go over and look at that. I'm gonna try and play over this and narrate. Let's see how that goes. But here's a little intro, this clip, just a little intro, 110 beats per minute. Then you're gonna have bar of A, D, E, and then it's gonna write out all the way. I'm not gonna play the whole way through. I'm gonna just give you a basic idea. So watch this. Let's see how I can pull this off. Okay, here's your little drummer intro. Okay, A, okay, A, and then D, and then E. Say bar chord to try it. Here we go. D, try it. E. Other triad. Second one. Arpeggiate. Triads. Pieces of the scale. Again. Triad. Off piece. Okay, so you see you kind of get the idea. So let me just hop back over to the other camera. We'll wrap this up, get that ebook. You guys let me know. I haven't really done a format like this. I got some new things going on here with screen recording this I haven't really been able to figure out. So huge shout out to my friend Josh, who has the channel Music Tech Help Guy. Check out his channel. His whole channel is all about Logic. He's incredible. He's been a college professor for years, and that's what he's taught. But he has his own channel full time. So check that out. So huge shout out to him. And we're going to do more of this recording stuff. This is what it's about. I give you those lessons with all the charts, but I'm trying to show you kind of some of the end game of where we want to take this. All right, let's hop over and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, guys, so make yourself really focused when you practice. Get the jam track, put it on. There's enough bars in there. Remember, 2 bars of A, bar of D, bar of E. And then just take one of these charts and just start playing over the top of it. Even if just do the harmonic stuff, bar chords to triads, right? Do some of the scales, okay? Combine some of the scales. Be creative within one scale. If this is too much for you, 1 bar chord to a triad. Just A like this. You gotta put it all together. Okay, drop Jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Hopefully you had fun doing that. I know I love making these for you guys. Hit the like button if you're new. You know what button to hit. Would love to keep you. And we're probably gonna cross 20K today, unless we don't. But you guys are amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Don't stop. Only you can stop you. That's why you won't stop. Neither will I. We'll keep this thing going. See you in the next video. Peace.